George Cook with Rio, down here at Alaska Fly Fishing Goods. Today's Rio subject, sorting out popular wade-forward fly lines for Alaska. Now, before us, we have the Rio Grand, Rio Powerfly, the Rio Gold. Now, the common denominator in all three of these is they are wade-forward taper lines, which is definitely a prerequisite style taper for fishing here in Alaska. The Rio Grand is probably the workhorse of the group. 48-foot taper, one size bump up, meaning an 8 weighs that of a 9. A lot of times people say, well, God, if I wanted a 9-weight line, I'd get a 9-weight rod. You will appreciate this on a fast action rod. Why? Quick loading, effective with large outsized flies, particularly to make quick max load cast to mid to long range. Think about larger flies. Getting those things up, airborne, and delivered. The Rio Grand is a great line for that. It comes in all the way from a wade forward 3 through a wade forward 9, and it's very popular in Alaskan rods, 6 weight, 8 weights. Great all-purpose line, plays very well with a wide variety of fly types in casting and fishing demands. The Powerfly. Powerfly is a sleeper. I call it the line for fishing big nasties. So imagine you come up in August, you're going to fish silvers. Could be down here in Southeast, could be in Bristol Bay, the Alaska Peninsula. You're going to be fishing some bigger flies. Starlight leeches, hairball leeches, wog poppers for silvers, maybe even late run chums. This is a great fly to deliver those type of flies, the Dalai Lamas, the lead eye this, the conehead that. It's a delivery system for those type of flies. Quick loading, powerful taper that'll get those things airborne in loop that holds its integrity and delivers. It's also a nice freshwater line for other stuff like bass. So if you find yourself in the south, maybe on a trip where you've got some bass opportunity, it's an awfully nice line for that game because the flies are similar. Finally, the Rio Gold. This line to me is kind of the caster's line. So if you've got a 3, a 4, a 5, even a 6 weight rod that's a trout fishing rod, it's going to do a lot of traditional type trout fishing where presentation matters, where smooth, controlled, longer cast, often on lakes, are to be considered. The Rio Gold is a really nice line. If you're doing dry fly, again, presentation sort of stuff, this is probably your go-to line, particularly in the smaller line sizes. So to review, the Rio Grand, all-purpose workhorse, particularly with fast action rods. The Rio Powerfly, deliver big nasties. I think a lot of Alaskan application here, particularly for silvers. And the Rio Gold, trout fisherman's trout line, particularly where presentation and long controlled casts come into play. That's today's Rio Clinic on wade forward lines.